Okay, so we're back this week with something very special, at least for me. I'm gonna center us just a tad. There we go. Everything's good in the hood. And we just got out of The World's End, the new Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost movie, and I fucking loved it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay, it's worth noting.
Thankfully, Edgar Wright has yet to do me wrong.
So far, yeah, like I said, I watched Space not too long ago. It's that short little TV show he did for him in the movies, and that was brilliant too. So it's like, Edgar Wright, I sincerely believe, is one of the most brilliant directors in Hollywood right now, because he's never made a movie that I haven't liked that has been brilliantly written, even in its rampant stupidity. It is brilliantly written.
Yeah. Like what? I think even his quote-unquote lesser stuff, like Scott Pilgrim, just, really, I had fun with.
I like Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, no, I do too. That's just the one that, people have liked less compared to his other stuff.
Fair enough. I mean, Hot Fuzz is still his best one, I think, even with this one. Granted, this is a this is a hilarious fucking movie. I loved it from beginning to end. Granted, it kind of took a while. Do you notice it kind of took a while to kind of take off a little bit there?
Like that was what I noticed. Like the movie, it was funny, but narratively speaking, it had some pacing issues.
It did a little bit, at least towards the beginning and towards the very, very end.
Yeah.
And this one, this is one of the rare cases, so I don't want to give away too much because I actually want you to go see this movie because it's legitimately support Edgar Wright, because it's probably one of his bigger budget movies.
Yeah.
And I would like to see him do more of those because he can do it pretty damn well.
Yeah.
He knows how to manage his characters and his story and stuff like that. Granted, like I said, out of the three, Shaun did, Hot Fuzz, World's End, this one probably had the more pacing issues than the other two, but still.
Yeah.
Either one, it's still pretty goddamn hilarious. So, I guess to go over a bit of the story, or at least without going too much into the very, very end, because that's when there's a part towards the very end where I was laughing my ass off. He laughed so hard he hurt himself.
Yeah. It was just one of those things where, it's one of those lines where it just kind of circled back to one of the recurring bits, and they just finished it off in just, the best fashion possible, where,
pretty much.
We really can't spoil anything.
No, I don't want to spoil that moment, because it is such a great, hilarious 5-second moment, and it easily stands in one of the best final lines. The movie should have ended there, but one of the best final lines of a character, again, without giving anything away, that I have ever heard in any movie ever. It's this is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
But it's Edgar Wright, so if you don't like Edgar Wright, you're not gonna like this movie. I think that kind of goes without saying.
Yeah.
But that being said, first off, I kind of like the role reversal that Simon Pegg and Nick Frost got in this movie. Did you notice that?
Yeah, right off the bat, it's it was kind of weird for me at first. It's just it's kind of strange, seeing him not play it straight per se.
Yeah, but
he ended up being a hybrid of. It was kind of. Obviously he was kind of more in the Nick Frost role this time.
Yeah, because Nick Frost usually plays a bumbling buffoon, but here he is the more sophisticated, civilized person that's the much smarter one in comparison to Simon Pegg, who's the alcoholic, drug-abusing guy who never grew the fuck up, which usually Nick Frost plays in the other Get Right movies. But it was kind of refreshing. You know what? Simon Pegg's having a lot of fun with it. So it's I don't think there's one performance I can look at me and say that wasn't a very good performance. Everyone just did brilliantly here. And the script, of course, is Edgar Wright, so it's it's so sharp and it's so fast. It's one of those blink and you'll miss a joke kind of things. And that's what I love about his movies, is the fact that they're stupid, but they are brilliantly stupid.
Yeah.
It's almost a contradiction within itself.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's kind of doing the Monty Python thing.
In a way, except I'd argue this is sharper than Monty Python, because even then, Monty Python was brilliantly stupid, but there were parts that were stupid for its stupidity's sake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you think about it, both instances are very, they're very satirical about the stupidity of the nature of the scenario and whatnot.
Very true. Yeah, I mean, they're very self-aware movies.
Yeah.
Both the Edgar Wright movies and Monty Python movies.
Yeah, kind of was it with the line with the whole reason that they're going to, to World's End.
Okay, so I'm gonna go a little bit into this part, because this is something that needs context, and it's one of the most brilliant lines in the movie. Okay, so what happens is, Simon Pegg plays a guy named Gary Kane, who was this legend back in his high school days when they try and conquer the Golden Mile, which is 12 pubs and 12 pints of beer, pretty much. And you conquer that, you basically become a legend of their city. They tried it once, 1990, but they screwed up at the ninth bar. But now he's an older man-child who's in a what do they call it? Circle? support group.
Yeah.
Who's in a support group for something that's not revealed till the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say anything more about that. But basically it says, I want to kind of relive the golden age because I don't have much else. So I'm going to get the band back together. So we get Watson from Sherlock.
Yeah.
Who's also been in other Edgar Wright movies. But
yeah, like, I remember him being one of the police officers in the whole...
And Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
And he's probably in the Shaun of the Dead. I don't know where. A cop just drove past us. That concerns me slightly. But
no, they're just making sure that there's nothing suspicious here.
Oh yeah, it's worth noting that San Jose's kind of gotten the shitter lately. So we're ever so slightly concerned.
Yeah, there have been 2 reports of shootings near here today, so
we're being very careful. And on that note, back to the movie. So he gets about got it, and they go back to this old piece of shit hole-in-the-wall town where they start drinking beer, except for
Nick. It wasn't really a piece of crap hole-in-the-wall town. Like, it was one of those very...
Just homely.
Yeah. Like, it kind of reminded you of Sanford in a bit, away in, what the hell's it called? God, Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, it probably was the same town. Could be, but they probably just reused the same place. It looked exactly the same, at least, but it's probably just You know, I actually saw this in the back, and there's a Blockbuster video in the back, in the background of one of the scenes. Like, oh my god, it's a relic. Well, I guess it really is 1990 or whatever year they filmed this.
It kind of makes sense though, because like the whole movie kind of goes back to referring to like the idea of kind of sticking to the past.
Well, it's like that's another thing. Like, there's so many small jokes in the background. Like, I couldn't help but notice they walked past one shop that said "Time Passed" on the little banner thing. It's like, okay, that's pretty funny.
But back to the comment at hand about trying to put things in context.
Yeah, anyway, so they get all back down, they start doing the golden crawl until Simon Pegg goes in the bathroom and he starts talking to some little punk kid, pretty much, after they basically all berate him for lying and cheating, basically being a horrible person. Simon Pegg, in his dismay, goes to the bathroom, starts talking to this little punk, and finally just picks a fight with him, and then all of a sudden he turns into a goddamn, like, he finds out he's a goddamn robot after grabbing him, just slamming him on a toilet, and his head pops off.
Yeah.
Like a fucking Lego character, like one of those rubber dolls where you just pop the head off. And that's kind of when the movie takes a very sharp turn. That's what I love about Edgar Wright movies. It's always had that sharp right turn towards the halfway, at one point, just everything changes, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
But that's where things really kind of picked up pace in a lot of ways, and Edgar Wright can direct a fucking action sequence.
Yeah, like, basically, if you remember the action bits from Scott Pilgrim, it felt just like that all over again. True.
That doesn't surprise me, though. Again, it is Edgar Wright, and it did fit with the feel of the movie. So it's like, I thought they were great. I loved them. But anyway, they decided, it's like, you know what? It's like, what are we going to do? There's robots. What are we going to do? It's like, let's get doing the Golden Mile. Why? Because we need to keep up appearances. If we leave now, it's going to be weird.
Yeah. And so,
there's a part.
Yeah, where the girl named Sam, played by Rosamund Pike.
Who is Watson's sister.
Yeah, and basically a love interest of the character Steven. It's like, wait, what are you doing? You know, it's like we're going to the, talking to, who is, Andy.
Yeah, Andy,
Nick Frost's
character. And he goes, he's getting drunk, so at this point he's like, fuck it. He starts taking shots and beer too, and he walks in,
so it's like,
walks to the door, like, what are you guys doing? And he goes, we're doing the Golden Mile. Why? Yeah, it's like, because we want to keep up appearances, no one else has a better idea, so fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah, God, how the whole thing goes, like, yeah. Diabolic's idea that in order to get through this, we need to keep up appearances. If we keep appearances, we'll get to the end of the Golden Mile, and that way we can escape without anyone noticing, and fuck it, no one else knows what else to do.
He breaks a window, and it's like, again, we probably just killed it, but still.
Yeah.
It's like, I just know that
Oh, so no one has a better idea.
No one has a better idea, so fuck like, it.
And like, it was true. Like, I'm glad the movie acknowledged it. Like, not only was it funny, but it was self-referential, the whole idea that, you know, it's like, really... It's like, the only other idea was, let's drive out of the city, which they could have easily done.
Yeah, but they were all drunk as hell, so like, except for Nick Frost, but that's right before he takes like 5 shots straight in a row.
Which they acknowledge. It's like, what about Andy? He's sober. Well, there goes that.
It's just a really, it's so clever in its execution. Like, from beginning to end, there is so many things to laugh at, so things to notice, that I bet I can watch it like 5 times and still see things that I missed the first time around. It's just one of those movies, and I love that.
Yeah. I'll say this movie also had a lot of who's on first moments.
What do you mean?
The whole idea is like, you know, who's on first? Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Who is who? And they just
Oh
like,
yeah, like one of those like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, there was that great line, that great part where they're in the bar, like in the 6th or 7th bar, I think, and they're trying to figure out what to call the robots.
Right.
And there's the one part where like Simon Pegg talks to Sam, and they come back, and someone's like, they're still spitballing ideas. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We'll call them Blue Bloods. I'm sorry. I still prefer smashy eggheads.
It's like those quick fire moments. If you're not paying attention, like they're like, what? But it's like it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's like I haven't laughed this hard in a movie all year. Like that's really what it comes down to. Like,
Has there even been a good comedy this year?
White House Down.
America. Oh, how ironic.
Yeah.
You got overthrown by the British.
Oh, and Pierce Brosnan is in this too. That's worth noting. He plays like the principal, but he comes back into play.
Like, what's up with him getting James Bonds in these movies?
He was in technically
Timothy Dalton in Hot Fuzz. Remember he was Bond.
Oh my God, he was! I forgot about. I forgot about that. I don't know why he was like one of the main villains, but still. I was thinking about that 20 minutes ago. What the hell's wrong with me? Anyway. Oh my God, I'm in such a happy mood because I've seen nothing but shit all fucking year because it has been such a horrible year for movies. And after I got so mad at Percy Jackson 2, it is so nice to laugh and feel joy again. But oh my God, I just had so much fun. Like that's what it comes down to. Edgar Wright, it's just a fun movie. Whether compared to other Edgar Wright movies or any other comedy came out this year, it is so smart. It is like it is so smart in its execution. It is so funny. It is just. It's one of the best times I think I've had this summer. And
like that is definitely strengthened the fact that like even the narrative lulls, it's just the humor and the dialogue is so strong that you're able to like get through it. And like yeah, my only main complaint that really did bug me though was like the message of like trying not to live in the past and like better yourself. And like it kind of got at odds with each other at times. Like what was it? It was kind of like the same thing that happened with This Is the End. In terms of like how it's like, you know, their whole message was just don't be a dick. And it's like, well, they weren't really dicks in the end. Like once it got to heaven, it's more like you could do whatever the hell you wanted, and it's like felt like there's no consequence once you got into heaven. And like they're noticeably not quite as humane as they were before. Like they were smoking joints in heaven and whatnot. And this, it's like,
and they summon the Backstreet Boys, one of the worst sins you could ever commit.
I thought that was hilarious, personally.
I didn't, but then again, not a Seth Rogen fan. That's like here's what I like.
Yeah.
Like,
but
I mean, I'm making that point. I'm sorry, I'll let you finish.
Okay. But yeah, basically the same thing that happened here. It's like the idea of like, don't live in the past, try and better yourself. Yet in the end, it felt like they're kind of tugging each other. So it was like, it's like you gotta move on. Don't move. Yeah. It's like then the aliens like
be free, but don't like.
Yeah.
Be free, but move on. Is kind of like it's kind of conflicts with itself.
Yeah. Then it's like when they say don't, you know, obviously the whole idea is like him kind of. Then it's like the alien's like, yes, stick with the past, and like, even though the past is like his freedom nature that's supposed to get him out of it, yet they want him to be back in it. And then he's like, he used it to better himself. I'm just, what?
Then Tom Hardy replaces himself with a dream image of someone else to get the password to get to the next level. Anyway.
Yeah. It just like, it got a little
convoluted. I agree with you for the most part. It didn't really bother me that much.
Yeah.
But it is noticeable. I would definitely give it that.
But at the same time, they at least to kind of acknowledge that, like...
It was confusing.
Yeah, like, the whole...
There's no point arguing with you.
Yeah.
Again, I can't say anything more about that without giving away one of the funniest ones of the line, because I'm not going to say it here because I'd fuck it up. It's one of those things. So, like, this is one of a few points where I will admit that I can't talk about this.
Yeah.
But kind of go back to This Is the End, though, because like this is what I like in comparison. This kind of comedy to something like This Is the End provides, I really don't like, is the fact that This Is the End, while at its core, still presents characters.
Yeah.
Like these are fleshed out. These are well written characters that you like, and you kind of root from the beginning again. Seth Rogen movies never have actual characters. They're just people playing they're just vessels for Seth Rogen comedy.
Well,
like,
in all fairness, these people were literally just playing themselves too.
true, but they're playing. Even then, they're playing characterized versions of themselves.
Yeah.
They're not actually playing real characters.
Yeah.
But like that's what I like. But this one's like, yeah, it's insane. But Edgar Wright establishes this world where these insane things happen. This
and
is
like
how these
it just
characters
it
react.
works. Yeah, exactly. Like because I wholeheartedly admit this was just infinitely better than This Is the End. Like I mildly enjoyed This Is the End, but this is like I really enjoyed.
This
it.
makes This Is the End seem like it's a small world after all.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's just awesome change of pace to watch Nick Frost kick some fucking ass.
Yeah, I was like,
whoa. There was a part, like, when the robots first get introduced, where, like, you kind of know where Nick Frost is going to be in, like, his role in the movie, where he just grabs a robot up and just goes all fucking Bane on him and just crushes him on his leg. And then he gets, like, 2, like, bench chairs when everything goes to hell, and he starts beating the crap out of everything in the bar. Everything just fucking explodes. It just...
yeah.
It's just fantastic. Like, aside from, like, the very, very end, where it was so kind of almost too much left turn.
Yeah,
it was a bit off-putting. Again, can't say
it's like
talk about that giving it anything away.
like when you look at something like basically kind of did what Shaun of the Dead did, where like it gradually got more. Shaun of the Dead got gradually more serious, where like it was believable without being like too out of nowhere. Whereas this, like the turns, they did kind of just come out of nowhere. Like
I don't know. I liked the general progression until we got to the very end, like that part where they finally do get to the world's end. Again, without giving anything away, I thought that scene between Simon Pegg and Nick Frost was very good.
Yeah,
like
it was, but just like it felt like that mood change just kind of.
I don't know. I kind of felt it was more gradual. I kind of saw the transition kind of happen, and I thought it worked. It's when you get to the very, very end, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I felt like that did kind of come out of nowhere. Like basically, it's a spoof on Apocalypse movie, basically.
Yeah.
I can't say any more without giving away the ending, so I'm gonna stop there. But what else was I gonna say? Overall, I just had a lot of fun.
Same here.
I loved all the characters. I loved the story. I loved the fight scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know what to talk about. It's like some of them are just so creative. Even the fight scenes are creative. Like there's a part where Simon Pegg has to like tackle 2 twins down on the ground, and he starts like one of them flies off in the distance. She comes back and she reattached like feet instead of her arms were. So he had to like fight this weird kung fu fight with like foot arms. It was like fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but it works.
Yeah.
Trust me, it works. Like this movie is weird.
Yeah.
But somehow, just by the way it's written, by the way it's executed, it works. It shouldn't work, but it does work.
Or also was it the fight where he's like trying to drink his beer?
Oh yeah, that was great too. This is right on the point Nick Frost starts beating the crap out of everything, and Simon Pegg's still trying to finish his beer, but he's getting like knocked over by every other robot, so he's punching him out, trying to drink his beer, punch out again, just like, oh, fuck it, and then he basically just starts fighting too. But,
yeah. I think it was more like he was pissed that his beer got
destroyed. That's right, because like someone knocks it away and he goes, oh, fuck you, and then just starts going. But it's just, if you like Simon Pegg movies, you're gonna love this movie. I think like I was saying.
I'm really hoping this movie, like, Edgar Wright movies, like, they're more about the cult followings. I really hope this one actually succeeds.
Well, our theater was packed.
Yeah, but in all fairness, when I saw Hot Fuzz, that was too, and the movie only made, like, what, $4 million?
Okay, fair point. But still, I mean, Edgar Wright's getting their popularity. I mean, he wrote the Ant-Man movie, which is coming out next year.
Yeah.
Or whenever that's coming out, not next year, but some point in the future. So it's like he's getting there.
Yeah.
And I think Scott Pilgrim wasn't much of a success either, but still.
Yeah, that kind of had the same pitfall.
Yeah, it's like Edgar Wright's movies is either it's for you or it's not.
Well, it's not necessarily that. It's like it feels more like it just reaches a niche crowd, and like that's the main issue. Is like for some reason it just doesn't reach that far enough audience.
I think it's just because it is a very different kind of comedy than we're used to seeing nowadays, and that's what I like about it. Because quite frankly, it's much smarter than a lot of comedies we get nowadays. But again, it's kind of hard to market that to a general audience that still think Will Ferrell and Seth Rogen are hilarious. Which I know that sounds harsh.
No, Will Ferrell, no, they can be funny. The problem is that they're in a lot of stuff that
isn't funny, but people going to see that shit and they keep making more of it. Adam Sandler's career is the perfect epitome of this theory.
Oh, God.
What are you, oh God, but you have to see Grown Ups 2.
You're right, I didn't. Ha ha!
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't have to see Percy Jackson, too.
Fuck you. Well, guess who gets to see planes, fucker?
Not me.
We'll see. I'll find one that'll break you again.
I don't think you can... Unless it's from the same guys who made Epic and Date movie, trust me, that ain't gonna happen.
We'll see. We shall see. Anyway. As I do a very evil laugh in the middle of this abandoned parking lot where the cop just pulled up to the top. Like, what the fuck was that? Anyway, I think we're getting a bit off topic. So,
Yeah.
I think that's all really all I have to say about the movie.
Yeah,
Like, again,
just,
without giving away the ending,
Yeah.
there's not much
It's
more
like-
we can talk about.
Yeah, it's like, even if there's like a narrative, some narrative pacing and like the things kind of get a little bit messy in the end, it's just still so damn fun and funny.
Yeah.
It's just like, and as we said, the characters are interesting, you know, they're kind of giving their, you know, I wouldn't say they're diversified, but in some cases that might have been, you know, deliberate.
Maybe, yeah, probably.
It's like, except for Simon Pegg's character, because like they're shown, like these are you know, these guys kind of gotten to, you know, they've grown up, they're successful, their lives have grown somewhat stale.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like,
but
like, this is clearly a much bigger budget, not big budgeter, more big budget film that Edgar Wright's worked on, like especially compared to like Hot Fuzz, which I can only tell didn't have that big of a budget based on the scenes we got there. Although I will say that's a better movie. It's like, so where do you think this ranks, like in Edgar Wright movies?
I'd say probably third.
Third, do you think so?
Yeah, like definitely it's like, it's above Scott Pilgrim. I'm kind of at, it's really hard to say which one I like more compared to Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead. I think Shaun of the Dead was better, but Hot Fuzz was more fun.
See, I think Hot Fuzz was better. I think it's still the best that Edgar Wright's done.
Yeah.
Just in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like, it's one of those ones where like, it's really hard for me to say between those two, because like, they were both just so damn well done.
Absolutely.
But it's pretty obvious this one was definitely like, you know, weaker than that, but even then saying that this is the weaker of his movies is still a compliment compared to yeah.
So it's like, it's still, I mean, it's getting great reviews.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up like 94 on Rotten Tomato right now,
Yeah.
I think, something like that. And good. It should get recognition. It's a movie that people should go see, which is why this is one of the rare reviews where I'm not getting too spoiler heavy.
Yeah.
Unless it's a pre-screening, but it's like one of those things like, go see this movie. Support it. Give it the love that it deserves. Because this should, like, we should get more comedies like this. Show Hollywood this is what we want. Not that Adam Sandler drivel or that Will Ferrell crap. Or Anchorman 2, which is going to be the new Smurfs 2 for me. Not so much for everyone else, but for me.
Yeah. I will say this. I did mildly enjoy Anchorman, but the second one just looks... No.
I just know I have to go see it because my hate for the first Anchorman is, like, legendary at this point.
Oh, yeah. You've never ticked off so many people.
It's my highest and most hated video I have on my YouTube channel. It's like over 11,000 views, like 13 dislikes. I take it back, it's higher than that. But anyway, they hate me.
Roll up.
There we go. Okay. Sirens are going up, we hunker down. All right. So I guess we should move on to trailers then. Since I think we've pretty much said all we have to say about Simon Pegg and
first one, you weren't there for it, was Escape Plan, the Stallone Schwarzenegger movie coming out.
Oh yeah, I've seen the trailer for that actually, so I know what it is. It's like the one they're in the like underground prison, right?
Yeah.
And
you know, it's like, hey, this looks fun, and then I saw 50 Cent.
50 cents in there?
Oh, righteous kill! Oh, home of the brave! Ah!
At least it's not a video game.
What did you just say?
At least it's not a video game.
Ironically, his second video game was actually pretty fun from what I was told. Like, it was just so stupid, it was fun. But yeah, just, God, anytime he's in a movie, it's just like...
It's like having Shaq in your movie. Because everyone loves Steel. But hey, it looks like
everyone loved, was it Kazam? And Grown Ups too.
Oh, why?
Second movie was, yeah, it's like...
So we got that one, then we had the one I walked in on.
The Family.
The Family, with Robert De Niro and Jackie Earl Haley, where'd they get that from?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
And the girl who was Quinn Fabray in Glee.
I have an issue with Glee, so I don't watch it.
I stopped watching it. I eventually grew a brain.
If I only had a brain.
I'll admit it. First season, great. Second, okay. You know, after that, it just had the Heroes effect. Or like, and also it's just like, it became what it was mocking and not in a good way.
Bleh.
Yeah.
Fuck Glee. That's all I'm gonna say. Again, I'm just pissing off all the demographics today. If anyone actually got this far, they'll be mad at me. But anyway, then so after that looked decent. I mean, I only saw the very end of the trailer, so it's hard for me to say. But
it's like Scorsese produced, woo. But then again, I generally don't trust a De Niro movie.
But we did have Silver Linings Playbook, so he's getting back up there.
Yeah, and then he did The Big Wedding.
I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up. Too bad Sarah's not here. She would have had some words to say about that one. Yeah, Sarah was supposed to come with us today, but she's in Monterey, so we had to go without her. So.
But yeah, basically it's like, yeah, De Niro, and he's a former mobster. His family have their little tics. They moved to France, and basically they start doing crap that catches basically the mafia and the cops' attentions.
So one of those movies. Yeah. We've seen it before. So basically Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah. The Grandmaster.
Oh yeah, the one with like the mentor. Bruce
the
Lee
one about
or
the one about Ip Man.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Or it's called the Ip Man. I was like, oh, that hurt to hear.
I thought they called it the Imp Man. Was that
no? They said Ip Man, but it's Ip Man.
Oh, it's
or Yip Man.
Tell that to the narrator. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I don't understand this. I mean, it looks like a kung fu. It's like old-fashioned kung fu movie. We haven't seen those in a long time.
It's also, God, like the fourth freaking Ip Man. Well, okay, fourth standalone. No, probably third. But there's like Ip Man movies spawning left and right.
Yeah, but to be fair, we don't see many kung fu movies actually make it to the States anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the last one we got was, what was that fucking piece of shit from last year?
Man with the Iron Fist.
Yep. Yeah, it was kind of fun in a stupid way, but...
Not enough.
Fair enough. I remember I enjoyed it when I first saw it. Granted, now I look back at it, yeah. Anyway. Then we had... This is like the only time we've actually gotten new trailers, surprisingly.
Yeah.
What else did we get? There was one more. Well, has to be one of those. I think it kind of sums up the first three right there.
Yeah. Jesus, why can't we remember?
This happens every goddamn time. I know, because I almost wrote it down, but then I was like, no, I'll remember. Foolish thinking.
Yeah, it was.
Fuck it. Does it matter? No. Okay. So, final thoughts.
Well, I'm basically just saying what I said. A very fun and funny movie. Interesting characters. Some pretty great action scenes.
Yep.
Narratively speaking, it might be a little... It's not really that focused sometimes. And like I said, the messages do feel like... Although there's a clear one, it does feel like it kind of gets a little muddled in the end. Same thing with like the... I guess you could say kind of the humor and the drama.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, it didn't make... Like, in... not the final moments, the moments leading up to the final moments, like, it kind of found its footing again.
Yeah.
And then just like, yeah.
But yeah, I'd pretty much agree. I think I like the drama mix in the comedy. I think worked a little better than you did, but overall, I agree they did have some pacing issues. There were some parts that it kind of. Like, especially it took a while to kind of like get going, and then like the very end, I think it should have ended sooner than it actually did. Yeah. I think that's kind of consistent. Like, if they ended right after that one scene, like, you know what I'm talking about scene, I think that would have been a great way to end it. But then they kind of kept going. So it's like, I get why they kept going, because they want to like bring closure and all that. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, you could have ended it sooner. But that's just me. Yeah. Overall, I would say if there was one movie that you needed to see this summer, that's one of the actual blockbuster movies, not like the independent stuff. This is probably the one you should go see. Like, you've been avoiding everything else this summer, and God knows I would not blame you if that was the case. This is definitely the one you should check out. So like, I loved it. If you're a Edgar fan, you'll love this. If you're not, and it's not your cup of tea, I respect that. This won't change your mind. So I think that's about all we got. So, hope you all enjoyed, and we'll be back with Your Next and eventually Elysium, which we've been trying to sort out for the past couple weeks, but we've had some issues. because school's starting and apparently everyone's busy. So it's like herding cats.
Except me.
It's like herding cats. Anyway, we'll see you all next time when I see you.
Have a good one.